When most people picture where they want to be buried, they imagine lush green lawns, beautifully carved headstones, and a serene, peaceful environment. But some of Riverside's founders aren't treated to such luxury. Their cemetery has hardly a blade of grass, the headstones are cracked and destroyed, and the cemetery is in such disrepair that it is more sad than serene. So how did Evergreen Cemetery get this way? Retired Supreme Court Judge Victor Maselli has the answer.
Prior to 1932, there was no requirement for a person to be buried in California to pay into an endowment. However, the legislature in 1932 passed a law saying that any person buried in California must pay into an endowment fund which will provide for the perpetual maintenance of the cemetery. The newer section of the cemetery is that which is green, the older section is brown. And what our committee is planning on doing is to acquire title to the areas designated as unendowed. We intend to completely refurbish those areas by replanting, new irrigation system, new trees, new shrubbery, and we will enclose it all with a fence.
But what's so important about this particular cemetery?
It is the original and first cemetery in the city of Riverside. It was, the first burial was in February of 1872. And most of this, if not all of the city fathers who were interred in Riverside were interred in Evergreen. We have in there the John North, who is reputed to be the founder of the city of Riverside. We have Frank Miller, who was the founder of the Mission Inn. We have Eliza Tibbetts and her husband Luther Tibbetts, and they are credited with being the founders of the navel orange industry in Riverside and in Southern California. Those are just a few of the very many people who are buried in Evergreen Cemetery since 1872.
Evergreen is not just historic to Riverside, but to the military as well.
We have quite a few service people from all wars, from the Civil War up through the Vietnam War. We have the distinction of having a Medal of Honor awardee in the cemetery. It was Cornelius Smith, who, surprising to most people, won the Medal of Honor for valor in the Indian Wars in the Dakotas in 1890. He has a son who is a retired Marine Corps colonel. His name is Cornelius Smith, and he's quite an author in his own right, but he carries on the tradition of his father. We have a member of the colored infantry who served with the Northern Army in the Civil War. We have many from World War I and World War II.
So if you'd like to see Evergreen Cemetery live up to its name, or if you have any relatives buried there and wish to contribute, please send donations to the address below and help regreen Evergreen. This is Matt Roberts for Inland Valley Magazine. Back to you in the studio.